Hello and welcome back to Game Reviewz, where today we'll be looking at our first NES game review, which entertainingly enough isn't an official title for the system. Today we'll be looking at Wisdom Tree's very own Spiritual Warfare. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Spiritual Warfare, the game where you convert sinners with the fruits of the Holy Spirit. Being a Catholic myself, I like to stick up for these kinds of games usually, but their quality is generally not great. I like what they're trying to teach, as I believe many people would, which is wholesome teachings about goodness and virtue, but so few of these Christian games are actually decent, let alone good. I mean, have you ever played Bible Buffet? Yeah, you'll see what I mean if you play it. Well, Wisdom Tree, who developed many of these Christian games, flipped the script here on quality. It retains good moral teachings, but also plays very well. It's based heavily on the Zelda series, as one could sum it up as Link going to church. But considering its 1992 release, it was pretty late to the NES party. It was also on the Game Boy Genesis, and because of that, you'd be led to believe that the Genesis version would look enhanced because of its 16-bit processor, right? Well, you'd be wrong in thinking that, because sadly, it's just a port of the NES version, which is lazy and very disappointing. Even though the cover of the game depicts a man with a sword, you actually never get a weapon like this. Rather, you use sacramental items as your weapons. Vials of God's wrath work the same way bombs do, and fruits of the Holy Spirit work as your weapons. Things like peace, kindness, generosity, and compassion, which are represented in the religion as fruits, are literally used as fruits in the game. Throughout your journey, you'll find different fruits that have different abilities and movement patterns that make them useful in certain situations. Then there's the armor of God. This armor you find piece by piece throughout each stage of the game, and it gives the player different benefits. For example, the belt of God allows you to push heavy objects out of the way. With the armor, you are very powerful, and its abilities allow you to reach different areas. If you enter bad institutions such as bars, though, you will lose a piece of the armor. You can get it back, but it will be very hard to reattain, seeing as you have to go to a different area to get it back. Enemies include shady businessmen, other sinful people, and even demons that fly out of people. The game's final boss is the devil. The final boss is a tad bit dark for an NES game, but it relates to the Bible, so I have no problem with it. The main character you play as is worth mentioning, as he's vaguely described as a Christian kid, which is strange, but okay. When it comes to prices, expect to pay $30 to $60 for any version of this game, as no one really bought it, and it's decently rare. Overall, we give this game a solid 3.8 tokens out of 5. Well, this has been Game Reviewz. Thanks for watching.